POV. You buy a zombie apocalypse survival game because your friend told you you'd love it, and you load in for the first time. You spawn on a beach with nothing but a piece of fruit and someone's ripped up underwear. You find a house with absolutely nothing inside. You try to tell your friend where you are, but the sign is in Russian? This game sucks. What the fuck do I even do? Well, hello there, friend. My name is BWAD99, and I'm here today to solve your newbie frustrations with DayZ. This game has a steep learning curve, but once you learn how to do the basics and improve your in-game skills, things will start to feel much more easy and routine. So, without further ado, here are my beginner tips for noobs in DayZ. Upon waking up on the cold shores of Chernaris, you want to seek out 4 things to start off: warmth, food, water, and a weapon. That sounds like a lot to worry about, but it's really not. Trust me. So, warmth can mean a lot of things, but for the most part, it's much easier to simply upgrade your clothes and avoid getting sick from the elements. Not to mention being cold plummets your hunger bar. Clothes are for aesthetic, yes, but they all come with an insulation value. It's relatively to understand. Poor insulation means it sucks, and best means it'll keep you warm. Easy. Stacking up on clothing with higher insulation values will help you stay warm and avoid death to the elements. It also allows you to carry more items and have more hotbar slots to quickly access whatever items you like to stick down there. Fires also help temporarily in a pickle. If you spawn in at night or early morning, it might be a good idea to try and start a fire in order to warm up and avoid starving or getting sick right off the bat. And don't worry, I'll go over how to make a fire very shortly. Next, looting around various houses, sheds, and other buildings will give you a good chance of finding a melee or maybe even a ranged weapon or gun. At first, any type of weapon will do you just fine, but later, when you start to think about your game plan going forward, you'll have to make some decisions on what to keep. For example, I like to be light and stealthy, so I ditch heavier melee tools and stick with a couple knives and a gun. If you want to learn how to become a stealthy DayZ ninja, be sure to check out my stealth guide. Here it is. Up top, go get it. Food and water are pretty standard in terms of what you need to secure first in almost every survival game. Water is really not hard to find and to fill up on at all. There are all sorts of tricks and methods of turning pond water into drinkable water by cleaning it or boiling it, but let's be honest, you're a noob. Drinking water straight from the well is less complicated and the quickest method to get hydrated. Wells are scattered all over the map in towns, villages, and cities, and over time, you'll learn to memorize the map a bit better and remember well locations. However, since you literally just woke up on the coastline of a Russian-speaking country and have no clue where the hell you are, I recommend finding an in-game map, or maybe even using the I Survive app to navigate. The app is great for noobs because it lets you know where you can find specific landmarks, including wells. Once you actually find a well, make sure you hold F on PC or whatever your trigger action button is on your controller. And after a while, you'll see a full stomach icon next to your hydration bar, and hopefully your hydration bar has 3 arrows up and the water bottle on your screen is completely full. At this point, you're fully hydrated and ready to move on. Now, food is a bit harder to come by. If you're lucky, you can find a good bit of food in the coastal cities and towns, but odds are you won't find enough to help you survive the less abundant areas that await you further inland. All the time you spend running around, looting, fighting zombies, and all the towns to barely stay in the white, or 75% or more, you waste all those precious calories and realistically don't have enough to journey inland. So, instead, a much more efficient and faster method is to fish. You can either loot the coast for a fishing rod or simply make your own. I usually make my own, so I'll just break it down and show you the way. To make an improv fishing rod, you just need a rope and a long stick. Long sticks can be gathered from large bushes, and you can use your hands, or it might be easier to use a bladed tool. And then rope can be found at industrial spawns like sheds, warehouses, outhouses, etc. Or you can simply craft it by combining 2 full stacks of rags. Combine the rope and the long stick, and you'll have yourself a fishing rod. Easy. Now you will also need a fishing hook. Again, you can find these on the coast along the beach boats, but it's much easier to craft your own. When looting towns, you may come across an animal. Most likely you'll see or hear an abundance of chickens scattered across the spawn town that you're in. You can kill and gut them to get yourself bones, which can be combined with a blade to produce a bone hook. Not to mention you'll score some juicy chicken steaks to cook up as well. But if there aren't many chickens around, you might have to resort to something more primal. Odds are you'll run into a few dead players all over, and, well, this is the apocalypse. So you're gonna need to put your morals and high standards of life aside and cut a mofo up to get their bones. Not only to get bones to make a hook, but you can also combine your blade with their guts, I know, to make an improv rope. It's dark to think about fishing with some dude's entrails and their bones, but hey, you gotta eat. Make sure to wash away the blood with water, or else you'll be forever haunted by the memory of literally dicing up another human being. Wow, that and the blood can get you sick, but you know what I mean. Okay, now you have all the materials you need to fish. Well, except for a worm, but that's easy. All you need for one of those is to use your bladed item on the ground, look for the dig up worms prompt, and once you get one, combine the hook and the worm, attach it to your rod, and start fishing at a nearby water source. But wait. Well, hopefully you've avoided the worm curse, but now we're back. So once you've caught a fish, what are the next steps? Well, considering you're a noob, you probably don't know how to make a fire, so I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. To make a campfire, you need kindling, paper, rags, bandages, tree bark, anything of that sort, and some fuel, firewood, or sticks. Sticks do just fine, by the way. You don't need firewood. Sticks, well, they'll get the job done, trust me. Combine the two together, and you have a campfire that you can place nearby and cook with any of the raw meat and fish fillet you may have gathered along the way. But wait, the campfire needs to be lit, doesn't it? Well, you can use matches, a lighter, or even a road flare to start your fire. But if you didn't find any of those, well, there is an improvised solution. By gathering some tree bark and a short stick, you can combine the two together to make a hidden drill kit. Now, using whatever fire starter item you have, put it in your hands, go up to your fire pit, and hold left mouse to start a fire. Wait a minute or so and the fire will eventually become hot enough to cook with. While you're waiting, make sure to find yourself a long stick and use a blade to sharpen it. Then combine your fish, chicken, or other meats with the sharpened stick. Hold it in your hands, hold left mouse near the fire, and cook that baby until the white circle cycles one full time. Now the food is safe, baked, and ready to eat. Alright, at this point, you should be equipped with some decent clothing, a melee item, or a gun, and be full on food and water. In almost every single DayZ adventure I embark on, I do make sure to take the time before I move on to more dangerous areas of the map to sort through my loot and only take what is useful to me. Hoarding too much stuff slows you down and makes you very noisy and easily noticeable as you make your way around. So here's a list of essential items you should look to have on you before you go. A knife. Personally, I use knives in melee combat, but if you decide to go another route, you should still carry a knife with you to cut up rags, open canned food, gut animals, and so on. Lighter and matches. Although we went over how you can make an improvised fire starter, having a lighter or box of matches is much easier and way more convenient for fire making. Having one on you will make your life much easier down the road. Ammo. So, a lot of the time you will find a bunch of bullets right off the bat, but maybe not have the right gun or clip for them. So you might be tempted to keep all of what you have, but in my opinion, this is something you should really avoid. Again, do not allow yourself to get into the habit of hoarding items. It starts with holding a bunch of ammo because you don't have a gun, but then it also starts to build a bad habit and you will start to pick up every fucking item you see. Don't do it. In this game, you have to make decisions, and hoarding is not a good one. If you have a lot of one ammo type versus another, always stick with what you have more of at the beginning. Personally, I try to stick with one set of rifle ammo and one set of pistol ammo as I begin to go towards the higher tier areas. This is a personal decision that I find works out best over time, but hey, it's DayZ, a game full of choice. You make the call. Medical supplies. Most spawn areas will usually have some sort of medical center nearby, and supplies can be extremely useful. Clean bandages are much faster to fix a bleed rather than rags. Tetracycline pills will help cure colds, fevers, infections. Codeine and morphine will help with pain to some degree, and EpiPens can give you an unlimited stamina boost for up to 60 seconds. You can also find things like saline bags to help regen blood, which that must be attached to an IV start kit. Vitamins can be found that will help you prevent and sometimes cure illness. Charcoal tabs will help with food poisoning, and so on. The list goes on forever. Any of these will be useful at some point along the way. Well, unless you get one tapped. But make sure to pick up what you can. A backpack. Now, it's always been a staple of a DayZ character to have some sort of backpack. But honestly, I don't think you really need one. Ever since I made my no backpack challenge video, it's right there up above if you want to go watch it, I've actually learned to better manage my inventory with limited space. It forces me to get creative, make decisions on what I have on hand, and keeps things fresh and interesting along the way. Plus it keeps me light, quiet, and able to be stealthy all over the map. However, as a newcomer, backpacks are useful in terms of adding some extra insulation and inventory space until you learn the ropes and really understand what is essential to how you want to play the game. Keep in mind, bright colors will make you more noticeable, and heavier inventories will make you more noisy. Navigating. Now that you're ready to move on in the world of DayZ, you're all organized, you're not starving to death, and you're not wearing ragtag clothes, let's talk about moving around the map. And right off the bat, let me tell you, you will get lost. Navigating the DayZ maps as a noob is extremely difficult. You'll need to spend lots of time exploring and learning your surroundings before you're a pro. I have over 2,000 hours in this game, and I'm still not the greatest of navigators. However, here are a few tips I learned that can help you out. 1. Power lines will always lead to civilization. If you find yourself lost in a field or a forest, try to find a set of power lines to guide you back to the nearest town or city. 2. Hiking stands and maps are scattered around and can help you find out which direction you need and want to go. If you find a hiking stand, it's a little setup with a picnic table, a roof cover, and a big map sometimes. Odds are, it'll be along a hiking path. These are more subtle routes that take you all around the map. They might be less direct than roads as they wind and weave through forests and hills and mountains and all sorts of things, but it will keep you away from the more traveled routes. All the paths can be found on the maps in-game, so choose where you want to go and find a hiking trail that gets you there. 3. The sun and the stars. If you're not like me and you're more of a compass rose, cardinal direction kind of person, then you're in luck. In the vanilla game, DayZ has the sun rise in the east and set in the west, just like in real life. Plus, it has realistic constellations at night that can help you navigate and reorient yourself during your travels. But if you're not an expert with that kind of stuff, just find yourself a compass. Alright, last but not least, I won't spend a lot of time talking about these, but I will show a list on the screen of a few basic crafting recipes that can be very useful throughout your adventure. Keep in mind, this is a very basic and limited list of crafting recipes that I usually cycle through from run to run. But if there are any others that you like to use, make sure to let us know in the comments. And well, I could go on, but in the spirit of keeping things basic, short, and for noobs, I think this does the trick. Using these tips, ideas, crafting recipes should get you through your first few hours of your life. Well, unless the inevitable happens along the way, which you can't legally hold me liable for. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other guide ideas you'd like me to work on, or you want me to make a more advanced level version of this guide, let me know in the comments. I'm here to help you. Also make sure to like this video and subscribe for more guides, challenge, and adventure videos. Thank you so much everyone if you made it this far. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.